to the semi-finals in a bid to make it through to a third consecutive Euro Tour final, and a feat only achieved before by Michael van Gerwen, admittedly quite a few times, but even so, it would be some effort. Number 3 seed will face the winner of this quarter-final here. The bronze Adonis Steve Beaton, a former winner on the Euro Tour, a former German darts master, or Darren Webster, the demolition man, who twice before has made a Euro Tour quarter-final, but never gone any further. In fact, he made the quarter-finals of the European Championship itself at the back end of last year, and once again, did not go any further. And in every single instance, he has been beaten by something of a surprise package, an unseeded player. Danny Noppert did for him in the quarters last year in Riesa. This year, it was Ricky Evans who did for him in the quarters, and at the European Championship, it was Max Hopp.
First leg, Darren to throw first. Game on!
Once again, Darren Webster finds himself up against an unseeded opponent in the last 8. Can he take that next step and make the semi-finals? Chris Murphy is here to find out.
Well, there is an argument based on recent form that Webster is more of a surprise package in this tournament than Steve Beaton is. Especially bearing in mind the calibre of opponent beaten by Darren Webster in the last round. Gerwin Price done for by the demolition man this afternoon. A 6-4 win. And thanks largely to those 3 ton plus checkouts, 100, 148 and 170. All cleaned up by the Norwich man.
78.
Well, I posed the question earlier on today during that incredible game with Gerwin Price. Darren Webster's obviously been struggling with injury with his elbow.
Obviously.
Well, it is obvious, Murph. He's been grimacing throughout the weekend. But the question I posed was, would it make more of a difference? Would it have a bigger impact as today goes on, where he could have to play 3 games tonight?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
80.
Maybe. We will find out over the course of the evening, and Webster has a real opportunity to break that duck that you were talking about earlier on.
125. Darren, you require 10.
Ian White waiting after beating Jeffrey Disvan, and
the first leg.
Webster gets the first leg on the board against Beaton, who they do have a very, very even head-to-head record.
45.
Webster just edging it 6-5, but it has been more or less you win one, I'll win one all the way through.
Yeah, not much between them at all. This is their first meeting this
81.
year. And the last time they met, Steve Beaton was a convincing winner on the Pro Tour last summer. So if it does go, you win one, I win one. Good news for the demolition man.
Beaton has seen off Stephen Bunting, Mensa Suljovic and Ryan Searle to book his spot in the final session. All of them fairly close encounters.
Very close against Mensah, wasn't it? Surviving a couple of match darts.
Dramatic stuff on the Sindelfingen stage, but Beaton has this wonderful record against that particular opponent.
77.
The maximum hit by Darren Webster in this match is the 20th he's hit on the European Tour this year.
85.
Well, at the moment, we're at 182, I believe, for the event. You'd have to go some to beat the record for a European Tour event since it became 48 players. But it is a possibility tonight if they go berserk.
Well, the 135 no longer a possibility from
79.
Webster. The bronze Adonis
92.
looking to take out 92. He stayed on the treble 20 there. It looked blocked.
80.
And he might have been better going double-double.
Darren, you require 56. $46.
Well, that's a concern for Darren Webster because tops and tens have not worked for him so far in this match, and he relies upon them heavily.
On the second leg. Steve Beaton, third leg turner.
Beaton's first start at a double is pinned. Encouraging for him.
91. 90.
Interesting comments from Steve Beaton this weekend when he was talking about, his consistency, his mainstay as a top 32 player.
95.
The reason that we see him at most of the big tournaments year in, year out, looking to, well, he will make it a 19th consecutive appearance at the World Match Play this summer. And he said he's always had the talent, but he just perhaps doesn't have the dedication of other players.
60.
He is just laid back. The throw represents the man.
Well, maybe. I mean, he says he doesn't have the dedication, but then again, he does turn up and play everything. You don't see him skipping things, do you?
Yeah, I think he was referring to the hours on the practice board.
Well, part of the thing is, if you turn up and play everything nowadays, there's so much darts, you get all your practice in just by being at the tournament.
155.
Another big finish in prospects.
117. Stevie requires 70.
Double 19. He does not find.
Game
Double
shot in the
16.
third
Beaton
leg.
does.
Steve Beaton. Full flag Steve to throw first.
Well,
Game on.
at the moment, Steve Beaton is 2 for 2 on his doubles, whereas Darren Webster is 1 for 7. And Darren Webster will be feeling that he could genuinely be 3-0 up here.
81.
Quite the role reversal from the game between Webster and Gerwin Price this afternoon, where it was the finishing that kept Darren Webster in it. Even then, it looked at one point that Gerwin Price would just be too strong for him. But he wouldn't go away.
121.
Bit of a Norfolk derby, this one. Steve Beaton living in North Walsham in Norfolk, Darren Webster in Norwich.
57.
Yeah, they might be on
99.
Be sat next to each other on the flights home tomorrow, Dan. Darren Webster in the extra leg room seats. Any seat.
96.
Unless Steve's taking him on as hand luggage.
60.
It's Beaton that's got the extra leg in this one. Although Webster's left that finish that he's... Well, it's not one of the ones he's taken out, is it? He did attempt, he missed a double 10 for that to make it 4. Much to his own annoyance.
Not going to take it out here either.
And if Beaton finds a treble,
100.
Webster could be in trouble.
120. $88. Darren, you
Does leave
require
himself
40.
32 if he's allowed a chance. And Webster is missing tops and tens. He's missing them.
20.
And that last start looked
Stevie
different, didn't it? The
required
release looked
32.
different. Bit of pressure. Beaton does
Game
miss,
shot and the full flag.
but
Steve
doesn't miss
Beaton,
with the
full flag
second
down
dart,
and
and
the
now
full flag.
has a couple of legs.
Well, this is perhaps something to look out for here. You mentioned that
100.
looked different from Darren Webster. And if he is suffering pain, if it has got worse, because obviously he'll have turned up before his game, got his practice in
41.
prior to beating Gerwin Price, then yes, he may well have had a break or whatever, but he's got some practice in before this. If there is pain in that elbow, in that
58.
arm, it might start manifesting itself in little things like that. Just slight changes, throwing the dart in an abnormal way, and if you do that, you're going to miss more than likely.
Well, a couple of years ago, Darren Webster said that it was getting his last start right that is what had elevated him up the rankings and helped him win a title. In 2017, he was not really taking as much care, perhaps rushing the last starts.
Well, Darren Webster says that the
59.
biggest thing that he's had to face is he believes that technically he's good enough to win things. It's his head that needs to change.
174.
I have to tell you a conversation I overheard in the practice room, but I'll wait until after this leg.
If Darren Webster loses this leg, he loses the match. There is no way from
Darren,
this
you
position, if he
require
loses this,
69.
even Darren Webster with his new mental training and mental strength, he's not going to come back from that, is he?
He's not
29.
finding tops and tens, and it might be a wise ploy to change his MO.
Stubborn little man, though, isn't he?
131.
Steve has set up a very doable out if Webster can't sort this out. And again,
30.
missing those two targets.
There is a double top and a double 10 on the board, isn't there?
There's a bull on the board.
105.
Beaton
Darren, you
almost
require 10.
punishes in a brutal fashion. Double 5. How about this one, Darren? How about this one? It's another
Final
miss.
score.
Well, he might just walk off.
Steve, you require 25.
I said if he lost this leg, he loses the match.
Oh,
21.
He's not lost it yet,
Darren, you
but he's lucky
require
because Steve
5.
missed a big number.
15 darts missed at double by Darren Webster. But he'll keep
James Shaw on the
fighting.
fifth leg. Darren Webster.
I'm not sure you'll see a more vociferously celebrated double 2 than that tonight.
Yeah, the story I was going to tell you, many of the players in the practice room like to use headphones, listen to a bit of music while they're practicing, perhaps not to talk to their opponents. Now, Darren Webster, I overheard a conversation where he said that he started using headphones, but not actually playing any music in them, just using them to block out everything else. But he then followed it with including his own mind. So I'm not sure where he got them from, but I might ask him after if he can buy a set. Noise cancelling headphones that stop thought.
Well, I can think of a few players who
84.
appears to have been employing those non-stop for years. How about a big 140 from the Adonis? So leave 163. No, we're going to start down there. Lovely stuff.
He knows what he's doing. Don't underestimate Beaton, Dan.
33.
He's already at a 140 to leave 165 in this game, to be fair. You can usually count on Beaton to
85.
leave himself a bogey number at some point.
133. Not followed by 170.
100. Darren, you require 110.
He has taken out 70 before, so Webster can't let him have a go at this.
Does he stay there?
Tried.
The crowd in full
40.
voice.
Stevie requires 70.
Single fingern. He's been very, very good in that section, Steve Beaton.
Seventh leg, Darren, a through first.
Well, that's been the difference in this game. Darren Webster has outscored Beaton, but he just cannot finish. Look at those stats. 180 number 2 for the Demolition Man. 4 out of 7 is very, very good. 2 out of 18 is very, very bad.
94.
Well, you would think that whoever wins would have to play better than this to
100.
defeat Ian White in the semi-finals, as White continues this sizzling stage form. A man who can't
41.
play darts on stages.
How about a ton 40? Ton 40, Steve?
Doing a good impression.
Going for it.
100.
Ian White, isn't he, of a stage player?
He is doing a very good impression of a stage player. Almost as if he's getting better.
140.
Bullseye potentially, no. Stays there to leave 65. Pressure applied. Darren Webster is it 6? For tops, he perseveres. He perseveres. And he keeps on missing.
Change your mind, Darren. Change your tactics, because Beaton won't miss. Beaton hasn't missed, and now is one leg away.
Steve to throw first. Game on.
Darren Webster may have forgotten what hitting double top and double 10 feels like. And suddenly Steve Beaton, who's got a first 9 average of about 75, if he starts hitting trebles at the start of legs, well, The Demolition Man has no chance. What does he have to do to get past the quarterfinals of a European event?
137.
Well, already Steve Beaton is threatening to do his best leg of the match. He's only hit scores in excess of 140. Sorry, 4 140 plus scores in this tie. And yet, he could win it 6-2 because Darren Webster has been unable to pin the doubles upon which he relies the most.
99.
Would be Beaton's first Euro Tour semi-final since the Dutch Darts Masters 2017. Went on to reach a final.
92.
Didn't go for the bullseye, didn't need to, but he's left 32 and he's been so good in this section of the board. He's been excellent on the doubles in general, Steve Beaton. The bronzed Adonis goes next door for double 8 and pins it to win with a 14-darter. Darren Webster, he gave him the opportunities time and time again, and the bronzed